What's up, Sooner Nation? Live tonight, talking about the Oklahoma Sooner softball dominance that started with the regional play. Looks like they're going to maybe be playing California tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the championship. We talked about it last week in the games. We're going to talk about and break down the first two games that OU's played, but total domination, both sides, offense, defense, pitching. We mentioned how this team could possibly maybe have a goal of just shutting everyone out, and so far they're 2 for 2, guys.
You mentioned that, yeah.
I mentioned that, and I'll stick to it. I think it's going to happen.
Hey,
and we can't, before we start with what's happened in the Norman Regional, we have to talk about what's happened out in California. And all this does to me is put on a pedestal how much better OU is than everyone else. If there's this much parity over there, and UCLA was supposed to be maybe the only team really a threat towards OU.
That's not true. That's not true.
What I'm saying is, if it's easily upset, they lost 2 games, didn't win 1. If there's that much parity, we're not seeing it over here. To anyone who plays OU, I'm saying it raises their level of play even more so. Well, let's start with the first game in Hofstra.
Last time that we were able to talk, I think we said that UCLA was probably OU's biggest competition.
I don't think I said that, but
regardless, let's start with Hofstra, guys.
Hey, wait. Before we do, we don't know yet for sure that they're going to be playing Cal. Cal has the lead right now. Missouri, I believe, 6-3 or 6-4. There's still a couple innings to play. So as we record this, just as listeners know, we don't know for sure if it's Cal or Missouri yet, but looks like it could be Cal. But, I mean, we could talk about Hofstra. We could talk about the game today, Missouri. And before we move into that, I just want to mention one thing about UCLA. All right. To me, bar none, the team playing the best other than OU is Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee is playing really well right now, and even Florida State, those 2 teams are still really good. And I'll go to say Clemson is playing good softball right now. They're putting up a lot of runs, and I don't think – I mean, where we can say this regional, I think, OU's going to, dominate this region or whatever, but the super regional – and I'm not saying they're going to lose a super regional, Jeremy. Don't put that word. I'm just saying Clemson's a hot team right now as far as bats go. So, but let's talk about the first 2 games. Hofstra, domination.
I'll start it off with Hofstra. It wasn't really much to worry about there. They won 3-2 in their conference championship off of a walk-off. Really, just like Jeremy said, with UCLA losing to Liberty, it just shows the pedestal of how high OU is above everyone. And they didn't stand a chance, let's be honest. I don't think Missouri or California really stood much of a chance at all either, especially with it being at home for OU. That's just another reason to bet on OU. But there was really nothing to bet against them.
Yeah, and I look at a few things from so far in the first 2 games. One of them, Patty Gasso, the way she changes the lineup in, day out, you don't see it a whole lot in baseball or softball. I mean, I know we're talking about softball. You don't even see a whole lot of baseball where you're moving people up and down in the batting order. And like they said on the broadcast today, other than Jada Coleman and Tiare Jennings, that rest of that lineup fluctuates. Lyon's been, I think, 3-hole at 9-hole.
7.
Henry Hansen went 3 for 3 against Hofstra or whatever it was. They move her up to the 4-hole. What did she do today? 3-run bomb. I mean, that's just playing whoever's hot and moving them up. And I think they said on the broadcast that she likes to put the hot hitters together and group them together. And man, that's just another great coaching move.
She's psychic.
And another thing is, they are number 1 in the top 3 categories. I think it's ERA, maybe it's runs and batting average, whatever it is. Nobody's ever done that in college softball. Nobody's ever led in those 3 categories, and they do. They dominate all sides of the ball, and that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
And yesterday was really against Hofstra. I thought it was cool to see the veterans kind of lead the way yesterday. Grace Lyons with the 2-run shot. You had Kenzie Hansen. She's been a leader for a while there in Norman. Jada Coleman, Tiare Jennings. And we know there's also a lot of newbies, I guess you could say, that have stepped up this year. But it was great to kind of see the veterans lead the way yesterday, I thought. And Nicole May was great, a one-hit game with Storako coming in the last inning. And I thought maybe she was going to get the nod today because sometimes Gasso will pitch Storako in one inning and then start lead her out on the next day. But it's obvious that Storako is going tomorrow now. And then if there has to be an extra game, I'm sure it'd be May. But Jordy Ball was unbelievable today.
Yeah.
Nicole May was unbelievable yesterday. Lions showed the leather. I mean, guys, I got to talk about someone real quick that's way underrated.
Say it.
Alyssa Brito at third base is unbelievable, guys.
Yep.
That's
Who was the girl before her? Johns?
Yes.
Jana Johns or
Jana Johns.
She had a glove, and Burrito's a better hitter. Dude, Burrito is way better than I thought she was going to be on the defense side of the ball. I'm just shocked at how good she is on the defensive side.
Yeah, and speaking of the defensive side of the ball too, another player that's truly starting to impress us, not just on defense but offense. She's a newcomer that's found her groove. Is Sydney Sanders. Today against Missouri, she really she got it all started. I believe it was a 2-run?
Yep, 2-run.
Or it was a single or a double. I'm not for sure, but she has really found her stride. And I know that me and Jeremy can both agree on this. The two X factors for this team in the postseason are going to be Sydney Sanders and Alyssa Brito.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the truth of the matter because you look at Hansen, Jennings, Coleman, and Lyons. You know what you're going to get from them, but if Sanders and Brito can just stay consistent, it's going to make the Lions more of a threat.
And here's the thing, Jackson. I don't know that even there needs to be an X factor. That's the unbelievable thing about this team, guys.
Yeah.
X factor is like, man, who's going to be the one that makes the difference? Mm-hmm. There's so many of them. They know how. They got more ways to win than I don't even know what an analogy is. They can win any way you want. But I'll tell you this: they came into this regional that they're already far and above better than any of these teams in this regional.
Yeah.
If there's any excuse to be able to say, maybe they just kind of playing down to their opponent. This team doesn't play down to their opponents. It is ridiculous that they're not scared to lose. They're on the prowl. They're hunting. They're mowing them down. I mean, you just keep superlative after superlative after superlative. They just keep coming at you.
Well, and one stat today, watching the game, I think it was in the 5th inning, and out of the first 5 innings, 4 of those innings, they had their leadoff girl on, either by walk or by a hit. So you get this team, get their leadoff person on. The chance of them getting them home, pretty good. And so that's huge, I think, just to, I know it's a game you expect to win, but still, we've seen teams in these regional, super regionals, World Series get hot, okay? And they catch fire. And so, as we get farther along into this, I think you will see the pressure start to mount on OU as far as just like you did New England Patriots. I'm just throwing this example out when they were undefeated, and they lost to the Giants. When you see a team that they have one loss, right? And everyone's like, they're just invincible. The pressure does mount. Now, the difference is I think this OU team is just the pressure doesn't shake them that we've seen. I mean, they haven't been in this year as far as the playoff, series, but they just seem to always get to that next level.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah.
Did you see Kenzie Hansen's catcher stuff? She has blue on the catcher right here.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. What's that for?
Jordy likes it.
Is that why she wears it?
If Jordy likes it, you better do it because she was on fire today.
Jordy had her
going
really well today.
But
Jordy Ball
speed was great.
If Jordy Ball, if she cannot let her, I guess you could call it hypeness, ampness, adrenaline get to her so much, she could just absolutely.
How many walks did she have, Jack? Did she walk anyone?
I'm not sure.
Can someone look
Sure,
that
her
up?
control was really good today.
I only watched until the end of the third inning.
Hey,
I
if
knew
she
the
didn't
game.
walk anyone, May didn't walk anyone yesterday. That's 2 games without a walk, guys.
Yeah, I'd have to
They're
look
playing
up ball.
nearly
I'd have to
perfect.
look up to see if she walked any today.
They're
I know.
playing nearly perfect softball.
Yeah.
And we know they have some of the best talent. We get it, okay? But they didn't have the player of the year. They didn't even have one in the top 3, which just blows my mind. But I will say this: the thing that separates them from every other team is it's the mental aspect.
All right.
And
UCLA was making error after error when they were under pressure tonight.
And the talent, though.
What?
The talent separates them too.
Yeah.
And it's there too. Yeah, the depth.
Jordy Ball had 1 walk.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great control for her. I mean, that's good
Yeah.
control.
And
Braden, who stood out to you in the last 2 days?
Kenzie Hansen,
I agree.
K9.
K9. We really didn't talk
K9 with the
about her.
bomb today.
We really didn't talk a lot about it. If you remember, one of our viewers talked about how we only said she hit 438 and how that was just okay for her. But she's the real deal. She's a leader. K9.
Well, if you have the nickname K9, that's pretty high level because the last person to have the nickname K9, even though they didn't play softball,
Kenneth Murray.
Hey,
and he was a baller.
Let's kind of fast forward a bit, okay? Let's just assume. I know we don't want to assume anything.
Jay,
What?
You know who else surprised me too?
Who?
Grace Green.
That's what I was gonna say.
She got the last out of the game, but
Yep.
did she? What was her? Did she? Yeah.
She was it? Did she drive in 2 runs? Was it 2 or
2 runs in? Yeah, she ran 2 runs in.
Hey, let's fast forward a bit. You know, assuming OU gets past Cal and Missouri tomorrow, and then get past Clemson, which I still think Clemson's going to be a tough.
Well, Jay,
I
here's my prediction.
What?
You got to take care of business,
Yeah.
and then let's worry about supers next week.
That's a good way to think about it. But let me just fast forward, Brady. Let me just fast forward a bit. Guys, wouldn't we all just admit here, UCLA's gone. Do we all want Tennessee? I do. I want Tennessee. I want Mackenzie Donahue reunion.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Guys, she can't play shortstop. She's not very good.
Hey, she's a good player. Brady.
Didn't the Missouri girl talk smack too? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think so.
Shut up.
Does Mackenzie Donahue play shortstop at Tennessee?
Yes.
She's played some. I don't know if she's.
Who's the
Didn't
pitcher
they
for
have a name
Clemson?
for her at OU? Her name was like Air Donahue or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the shirts she sold were.
Hey, is the Clemson pitcher? Is it Cagle?
Yes. She's
Lauren Cagle, right? Is it Lauren Cagle?
But Jay, you're talking about Clemson. That was a 1-0 game until the 5th or 6th inning.
Yeah.
What, against Auburn?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's some other teams in that top 16 that aren't as hot as Clemson.
Where's the super regional at?
probably home.
Yeah, should be.
Should be.
Hey, will somebody explain something to me?
The visitor thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is OU the visitor today?
Well,
It has to do.
Jay,
Go ahead, Brad.
does it really even matter? Does it really?
No, I just want to know the reason.
I think it's because they alternate because that's just what they do. I guess someone else was asking about that. I'm not sure really.
If somebody,
You'd think the
I
home
can look
team
it
would
up
be
right
the
now, but I
Hey,
can't. I'm on my phone.
Jay,
Yeah.
top seed should be home, but
I like being the visitors. You know why?
Jump on them early.
Yep.
Yep. They did. They did today with those 2 runs.
Yep.
Watch out for Wichita State though.
Yeah, but hey, when I was watching the OU game today and they went up 2-0, I'm sitting there, I'm like, ball game. That's the thing about this team. If they get a 2-run lead, literally you sit there and think, it feels like a 10-run lead with this pitching staff. Because the pitching staff is so good. I mean, you get a 2 or 3 run lead, it's almost like if you're the opposing team, you're like, oh gosh, how are we going to score 3 runs on this team when their ERA is probably what, 0.56 for the year? I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
hey, so let me ask you guys, you talked about moving forward. We'll start with Jackson. Do you foresee Gasso continuing with now? It's going to be May, Ball, Storako. May Ball, Sirocco, unless some of them get in trouble. Do you think it's going to be like that?
I don't know because we haven't seen anyone face adversity and how they respond.
I don't think it'll be that way.
I'm talking about throwing out there to start. I'm not talking about finishing.
No, I don't think she's going to go in order like that. I think she's going to look up the match.
Yeah.
I think she's.
Yeah,
That's what I think she'll do.
I
Now,
agree.
Jay, how do you know?
What?
I said,
We don't know. We're
He doesn't
assuming.
know.
How would
I
Jeremy
don't know, Braden.
yeah,
Braden's trying to attack Jay.
Hey.
He's got beef.
we got to pitch the freshman at some point. Come on.
She got some time today.
Yeah, she got some time, guys.
She's got to pay her time, dude. I don't think we're going to see her in big time moments in this tournament.
Just wait till next year. We're just gonna have Nicole May, Jordy Ball, and Kirsten Deal. Like,
Hey, Braden.
What?
What are you pounding over there, Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Long day. Did you go to Bedlam today?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about Bedlam, do we? Baseball. Got to keep this about softball and winning ways.
Hey, so if you, I do think that Clemson is. I mean, that's going to be their next opponent after tomorrow. But again, this team is too deep, too good, and the defensive side really. You say what separates them? They're not going to give you anything. They're not going to make the mistakes that all these other teams are making. And I've watched it. I watched UCLA make it today when the pressure was on. OU embraces the pressure. They really haven't had a lot, but if they do, they've embraced it. And again, Patty Gasso, it's from the top down, guys. It's
Well,
from the top down.
I think we saw the stat from our last pod. Our last video, we were talking about how many of these teams in the tournament has OU beaten. I think somebody responded with 18. We were counting them on the pod, on the video. I think we were up to like 12. Somebody said 18 teams. I mean, that's just it. Like they're beating Liberty. They played Liberty. Did they play Liberty this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
All I know is it's a travesty. It is
Yeah.
a travesty that the best team in the last century, women's team maybe in forever, is on ESPN Plus.
It makes no sense. Why are you not putting them on TV? They're going to get you the most views.
What's tomorrow?
Exactly. I haven't seen what tomorrow's on.
Jackson.
I have no idea, dude.
I think you think it's because OU has the contract with ESPN Plus, probably.
Right, but
I mean, let's be honest. Hey, the weather was great today. Tomorrow looks like another great day. So 2-run rules, let's make it 3. Right?
Pitching,
make it 3, boys.
Pitching Stracco tomorrow.
Hey,
lace them down.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, you know why they're so good? Because they got that champion mindset in them, boys.
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 Championship
mindset.
mindset.
Well, guys, I think that's all we have for tonight. If you haven't, go check out Surge Sports Network. Traver, he just recently dropped a post-game article. Last night,
Jeremy,
win against Hofstra. And go ahead.
Hey, Jeremy, how's that article coming in for the Dynasty?
Oh, yeah, it's coming. I'm kind of waiting on – I've got him compared to Connecticut, but I was waiting on really to win this three-peat. It'll change everything.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
When are you going to put the video out?
I don't know. We'll see. Let's get through this regional, head on to the super regional, probably before the World Series is when that'll be released.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Well, guys, I guess there's a kind of a hint. If y'all can guess what it is in the comments, go ahead, try. But, yeah, just like we said, check out Surge Sports Network. I think Traver will have a post-game article most likely on this win over Missouri and one tomorrow as well. And if you haven't, go follow our social medias, like and subscribe, comment some more. We're loving the interaction from the fans. Really, truly are. I wouldn't even call them fans. You're our family if you're a part of the Sooner Surge. That's how we view you guys. And boys, I think it's all we have for tonight. Boomer.
Softball Bros out.